Hi everyone, this is Cherry Enchantress with Pixie Dust Tarot, and this is your daily dust for Tuesday, June 13th. Yep. If you're watching in real time, of course, if you've been watching this consecutively, or if you haven't, but you just know that you want a June 13th reading. But also, this can be for whenever you stumble upon it. I am doing a theme of inclusive decks for Pride Month and also Juneteenth. And so different decks that I have. Sometimes I'm going to have to repeat them. Of course, I don't have every single inclusive deck out there, but if you have one that you would like me to use on this channel, please let me know. You can email me and we can make arrangements. So let's take a look at the Star Spinner deck again. Star Spinner Tarot. I love this deck. It's really beautiful. I've really been getting into more kind of modern, impressionistic art lately. I started this channel with mostly realism, and now I'm getting into the bright, bold, modern colors and designs. I've got my eye on another deck that I might be getting soon, and I'm excited. I have an updated version of my romantic, enchanted romance tarot coming out soon, so be on the lookout for that towards the end of the month. Alright, I'm going to pick from the middle, see what we get. Ooh, nice. I like this one definitely because of fairies, Five of Wands. Maybe Five of Wands is not the greatest of messages, but in this deck it's going to be fine. Five of Wands. Okay. Then we have the Hermit. Interesting. Okay. And the Wheel of Fate. Wheel of Fortune. Ooh, I like that design with the two people turning around like that. All right. So I'm going to zoom in and get a bigger message, but so far what I'm getting is immediately with the Five of Wands and the Hermit, it just seems like there could be some kind of discussion, argument or something raised, and somebody goes off into kind of separates themselves from the situation, which I think in a lot of cases is the right thing to do. Let's zoom on in and see what we get. Five of Wands does represent tension. It could be disagreements. It could be having trouble compromising with somebody. It could be a new energy that's just not gelling right in your environment. And you know what? Sometimes it's self-imposed, right? Sometimes it's just bias or prejudice, you know, like, oh, I don't want them in my group, you know. So you have to kind of look a little bit deeper to see, is this really how I feel? Is this just me using my ego, or is this like really affecting my sense of health and equilibrium? Is this toxic? Is this something that needs to be here? So it doesn't always have to be a negative thing. It could also be something that helps. I think we just had the Five of Wands, or the maybe it was the Five of Swords, but it brought up no, it wasn't the Five of Swords, because I know the difference. Five of Wands is arguments, and Five of Swords is a win, a negative kind of way of winning by cheating. So the Five of Wands, I think, came out before, and in that daily dust, we mentioned that sometimes arguments that surface. I know it was with Queen Sugar's deck. When things come to the surface, sometimes it helps clear the air. So sometimes arguments can be very beneficial. Can be a way of seeing things that maybe you were holding in or holding back. In that daily reading, the other cards following were real positive, so it looked kind of passionate. Actually, it looked like a heated argument that led into something, a romantic situation, or you know, something like that. In this case, the argument or whatever's going on feels too much, and somebody needs to retreat, because the Hermit is about retreating. In a way, like, there are no winners or losers in arguments, but if you feel kind of like the loser in this, or that you did wrong, or you just you the argument ended before, maybe you had to leave before you would say something rude. So sometimes arguments, especially if they're productive and you use I statements and you don't use accusations, and especially if you don't call each other names, can be good. But if you get to the point where you get so upset that you want to call names, it might be best that you step away, or maybe another person has decided that they step away. I, as a Virgo moon, understand this very well, and I usually do step away to take a breath. And if you follow me, like immediately after a step away, maybe not such a great idea. So if you're dealing with a person who's like this, who's a Virgo moon, something like that, where they just need a little time out, they're giving themselves a time out. And it's a time to be aware again, because maybe they lost awareness in this discussion, and then the timeout can help a person realign and gather awareness again and see the big picture and realize, okay, did I really need to get too upset about this? No. So that's them stepping away, or that could be you stepping away. Whoever is doing the stepping away, allow it to happen. At least, give it a good 30 minutes. Maybe it might take more, but give it a good time frame. Also, don't be afraid if it's something that lasts a little longer, like a day, because I don't feel like this is a permanent situation. I feel like they just need a day off and a timeout. They need a reflection time. Sometimes it's just that way. So the Hermit is also about seeking truth, and they assess things that happen and to figure out their place in the world. So say you call somebody out on something, and they don't think that you got the facts right, and they start to argue with you, but they realize they can't argue about something that they don't know the information about. So they might want to step away to gather more information to make sure they can back their claims up, their beliefs up, and I think that's a good thing. I think you shouldn't be arguing with anybody unless you know what you're talking about. And then in the argument, you can even say that, look, this is how I see it. If I need to go find out more information, I will, but this is how I see it from the facts that I have already gathered. And if the other person's saying, well, maybe you gathered the facts in the wrong place, and maybe those things are not even facts, maybe they're just opinions. So sometimes you have to differentiate what are actual facts and what are opinions. And that's been happening a lot out there. But yeah, I mean, it's important to go to sources, to documents, legal things. Usually those are the places where you'll find more clarity and truth. You can tell the people who are the ones of opinions when they kind of get showy, when it's sort of like a performance. Sometimes you can tell that what they're saying are not necessarily the truth. It sometimes is a performance. It's a show that they're putting on. So be aware of the difference of that. People who are very matter of fact and kind of boring when they say things, generally, not always, but generally, are just speaking plain fact and truth. And so we don't always like to watch those people because maybe they're not entertaining, but usually they're the people that have the facts. So that's one thing right there. And then you may be with a person that does these kinds of things with you, or the other way around, or whatever. Either way, I feel like, in the end, the Wheel of Fate represents, there's kind of like growth coming out of it. It feels very yin-yang, doesn't it? It's like seeing both sides of things. It's as above, so below. It's like there's a balance going on here. And also, so much of the time, two things can be true at the same time. It doesn't always have to be an either-or situation. So keep that in mind as well. Poor hermit. Sometimes it's difficult to be in the world with all this energy. A lot of hermits I find are hermit type people, are empaths, and the weight of the world kind of overwhelms them, so they need to step away sometimes. But that doesn't mean that they love the world any less. They do very much. They love people. They want to give. They're helper types. They just want to be there for people. But sometimes they're overgivers, so sometimes they have to step away from all of that noise, you know. So just step up. If this is you, step away, affirm your beliefs, affirm your knowledge, do your research if you need to, or do some spa-like tranquil treatments, you know, the meditations and things like that, and also lovely physical treatments like massages and pedicures and manicures and things like that. Those kinds of things can be very healing and helpful too. Physical touch and relaxation of those sorts as well can be a good way to retreat, especially Virgo energy, earth energy, like generally are the hands-on, the earthy, touchy-feely types. So yeah. So the light here represents I love you, you know, but the mountain represents the people over there, or, you know, he's on the mountain and the people are over there. The staff kind of shows that they're working through a situation. So it's kind of like, as long as the staff is up, it's kind of like timeout period. Say, I'll get back with you in a little bit, but right now I have to process the situation. It's very interesting. We have two major arcana cards, so a lot of outside influences. So stuff like this, if it's a mundane, the thing about these daily dust readings is that they're mundane. They're daily, you know, so that means some things don't have to be big and all encompassing and a spiritual awakening and awareness like yesterday's. It could be just something simple you're just watching on TV, or just over coffee or lunch or something like that, a talk that you're having with a person, and you're like, I need to go step over there and take a walk, or I need to go have a, you know, timeouts, or whatever it is. Sometimes you just need to do that in certain environments. The Wheel of Fate is reminding you that things are as they are meant to be, and good things, the good things turn, and there are bad things too, but the good will come back around. It's very much karma. It's like karma. So the thing that you could be looking into or discussing, maybe that's what it happens with the hermit. You realize this is some kind of karmic situation. Oh, maybe you're talking to a person and you stepped away from them and you're like, what is this person to me? Is this somebody that can be in my life and it's just a weird moment, or is this something even more serious and it's toxic and they're karmic? There could be something there. Or let's say that you have a karmic soul contract with them and you're like wondering why this person's my life, and that could be the thing here. It's like, yeah, this is your karmic soulmate. This is a mate that you have a karmic contract with. You have a past life contract with. So that's possible too, because the Wheel of Fortune represents fate and karma, but it also ultimately represents good luck. And good luck is great. Good luck in this situation, or it's like almost like a snide comment, and well, good luck with that. But there could be something like that happens too. But I feel like, you know, honestly, I feel like good luck comes to you by stepping away from the situation and really learning more about yourself in the situation, and learning more about the parts, the pieces, and where they fall. This kind of feels like that, like all these little parts and pieces and where they fall. Learning that you are way more alike than you're different, you know, and that maybe you complement each other. So maybe you're connecting with somebody else that you feel, why are we arguing about this? And then you realize you're more the same than you're different. And so it's just the wheel of life is kind of like the circle of life, you know, just like things keep turning and churning and life goes on, you know. So it's got highs and lows, and you may have a little bit of both today, but I think you will end up on a high. All right, so I hope you like that. Faith, Trust, and Pixie Dust.